It has been nearly 3 months since a firestorm swept through Gatlinburg, a popular vacation spot for many tri-state families. The images that the damage left behind are hard to forget. Local 12's Brandon Orr was there back in December, and now he's returned to see how residents and businesses are recovering. And Brandon, I'm guessing you're seeing some pretty big changes.
Some really big changes since we've been here, Cammie. You know what? We drove in yesterday, and it was so nice to see when we drove through Gatlinburg, at least the downtown main strip, a line out the door at the aquarium. The sidewalks were filled with people going in and out of businesses with shopping bags in their hands, and that's what the city really needs. But you know what? Since today was a really nice day, we decided to go out to the national park. We got up with a few people out there. On our way into the Great Smokies National Park, we couldn't miss the scars left behind from fires just 3 months ago. But visitors are returning, and in record numbers too. It didn't take long for us to meet Scott. He's a Springfield, Ohio native living in Gatlinburg. He never imagined his dream retiring in the Smokies would be crushed when the fire took his home in the hardest hit area of Chalet Village.
The tears of sadness within 1 week turned to tears of joy, because I had a church group from West Knoxville drove clear out to where I was staying and brought 2 giant boxes of brand new clothes from Champs and Foot Locker. And I've got more clothes now that were given to me than I had that actually burnt in the fire.
Another church group even found his class ring in the rubble and returned it to him. Now he's looking forward to the future.
This spring, I truly believe the ashes are actually going to turn into fertilizer. And the spring wildflowers this season and next season will probably be some of the best they've ever been. And Gatlinburg needs it. We need that tourism. So come down and see us.
The fire started at chimney tops and burned so strong that the trail will be closed until late summer or early spring, but most of the park is open.
Considering the park only had 11,000 acres burned within the park, a very relatively small part of parkland is actually affected by the fire. We have over 500,000 acres, and so only 2% of the park actually was in the burned area.
In the 3 months before the fire, Sevier County saw less than 3 inches of rain, but in the 3 months after, more than 15 inches. In fact, the drought has gone from exceptional, which is the highest level on the drought monitor, to moderate, the lowest.
Yeah, the temperatures are, about 10 degrees warmer than home, so the grass along the roads is much greener. The trees are actually starting to bud a lot, too. I think you should come down here. I think it's still beautiful as always, so.
You know, I was very impressed. I was impressed by day one when we were down here and we were at the shelter, and the Red Cross was telling us that they had so much aid flooded in from places like Cincinnati that they ran out of warehouse room to actually put it. And that's a good thing, because this is not a crisis that ends on day one. It's not a crisis that ends on week 1 or even month 1. This is something that will take years to rebuild not only homes, but also rebuild people's lives who have spent many years here and everything has been lost. Now, coming up tomorrow at this time on Local 12 News at 6, we're talking to the city manager. She has a very important message for all of us in Cincinnati on how you can still help the city. We'll have more on that coming up tomorrow at 6. But for now, live in Gatlinburg, Brandon Orr, Local 12 News. Cammie?
Yeah, Brandon, you made a good point. When you think about all these examples of generosity, it kind of restores your faith in humanity.
It does. And we've heard so many stories of this exact thing where aid came in the same day that people were still, we saw people evacuating on that first day we were down here, but yet there were people coming into town with truckloads of water, of clothes, everything people needed, they got from people as far away as us in Cincinnati.
That's the great part of the story. Thank you so much, Brandon. State officials say that more than 2,400 homes and businesses were damaged or destroyed. The latest figures from the state show more than $911 million in insurance claims have been filed since the fires.